Hello, everybody. Welcome to Very Connected, our live podcast. And today we're being joined by Mabel Joseph. She is a mindset coach, and she is amazing. You guys are going to absolutely love her. She's joined us in the past, but we have her back today talking about the 3 phases of habit creation. I love the look there with all of that going on.
Thank you.
So if you're joining us, please feel free, say hello. We have some people here already on. Hi, Robert. And I'm going to be checking out our Facebook page here while me and you are talking.
Yes.
So I can make sure that I catch comments on there. So in the meantime, I want to do a very short introduction. If you guys are new to us, we're very connected podcast started approximately, honestly, 2 years ago, but we have migrated and kind of updated as of March this last year. And so we have been hosting people like Mabel on this platform and helping bariatric patients all across the US and Canada. And I mean, really, that's the big thing. I'm your host today, Brenda, and I'm going to kind of turn it over for Mabel to do a introduction and let us know a little bit about her. In the meantime, I'm going to be checking our Facebook page, so I'm going to mute myself. Go right on ahead, Mabel.
Yay! I am so excited to be here today. So obviously, my name is Mabel, and I am a 5-year sleep veteran. The reason why I had the sleep surgery was because I suffered from this condition called HS. And pretty much what that will do is my skin will get a lot of boils. And it was doing that because of my weight. So I found myself in this vicious cycle of the boils, feeling like crap, dealing with the discomfort, emotional eating, gaining weight. So like all my life, I've wanted to lose weight, but the more boils I'll get, the more weight I gain. And I just kept going up and down. So for me, I needed something like a boost. I needed something to help me like get out of this cycle. And when I first heard of weight loss surgery, I knew in my gut that it could have been something that I needed, but I definitely fought it, right? Because I had thoughts like many of us do, like, why can't I do this on my own? What's wrong with me? And you know what? I just said, F it. And I just did it. And it was one of the best decisions I ever made. And in the journey of transformation, as you all could see, as you're getting the surgery and going through the journey, there's a lot of self-learning that you have to do. You come against a lot of obstacles, but within yourself. And I got into personal development, and through there, I became a mindset coach. And now I'm here where I'm helping other sleevers, other people who have to weight loss surgery, get to the other side. So that's a little story.
Oh, I love that, Mabel. Tell us what made you decide to get into mindset, because I know that's kind of like a whole story in itself. Like what prompted you, you know?
So I was trying to figure out how to deal with this emotional eating, because even after the weight loss surgery, I was still emotional eating. And it was frustrating for me because I was trying to figure out how the heck I was going to stop this. Because I thought because I only ate a little bit, that the emotional eating wasn't going to be like a big deal. And it was. So I just started reading books. And then one day I came across a podcast, the Life Coach School, and that just changed my whole life. She became my mentor, and then she had a certification program to become a mindset coach, a life coach. And I don't know, my soul told me to just do it. So I did it. And it was just one of the best decisions I ever made. So it was just always supposed to happen that I was supposed to be a life coach. That's the weird woo answer for you.
I've told you this before. I think it's so exciting too, because like the energy you put into that can also be translated into your other role that you have. And
Yes.
like, tell us about that, because I feel like that is, I feel like having that knowledge of mindset and being in your 9 to 5. Well, it's probably not a 9 to 5 because I'm sure you work different hours.
It's definitely not a 9 to 5. I wish. So aside from being a mindset coach, I am a sergeant at a police department. And so you could just imagine with my schedule, with all the craziness that we all face in our individual jobs, it was also a struggle to lose the weight. So being a mindset coach has helped me be able to deal with my role in law, and also has helped me navigate my personal life in a hectic kind of like setting.
And I feel like it probably is probably a little chaotic at sometimes because you're in New York City, right?
Yes, I am in New York City, so it is a little rough. It's a little busy and it's very challenging at times.
Yeah. Well, we are going to kind of just jump right in, guys. Regardless of where you're joining, if you're on the replay, which will be this will be on replay, or if you're on the live, if you're on Zoom, feel free to use the chat box to ask questions. If you're on our Facebook page, please feel free to ask questions there. Anything, because we'll be monitoring both of those. And at that, Mabel, why don't we just get started?
Okay, I'm writing in the chat too. I want to participate.
Yes.
So today we are going to talk about the 3 phases of habit creation. And this is why this workshop is going to be so important for you. Many times when people try to implement new habits into their life, it becomes more about who they are instead of what's really going on in their brain. So they contribute not doing the thing to them being lazy, not being able to do it because something is wrong with them. But in reality, it's just a brain thing. The reason you're not getting to the other side is because you're just a human and you just don't understand what's going on in your brain. So in this workshop, I'm going to normalize the experience of changing your habit. So when you're there, when you're doing it, I want you to understand what's happening. So you don't let it stop you. You just understand like, oh, it's just my brain. Let me see how I can overcome it. So I'm going to teach you the experience and how to overcome it. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 journaling prompts. I guess it's a discussion prompt since we're all talking live. And I want you to think about this. Please write in the chat if you want to. That way I could gauge to see what you guys are thinking. I want you to think, what was the last habit you tried to implement, either in your weight loss surgery journey or in your life, and you weren't successful? Like, what was the last thing that you tried and weren't successful at? And why do you believe that happened? The answer to this is very, very important. Just gonna give you guys a few seconds. And don't try to give like a good answer. Like really be like true to yourself. Like what happened? What was the habit? This is a free judgment zone. Okay, I have constant with activity, exercise, yes. Stop drinking, okay. I think I failed because of lack of willpower. Okay, this is why you need this workshop. Daily walking, trying to implement the habit of not snacking, prepping my food, cooking, drinking water. Okay, see, we all have a lot of things going on. This workshop is definitely going to open your eyes to like what's really going on. And I know for sure you're going to get unstuck. All right, let me get a few more answers. Okay. Any answers on the Facebook side? Portion control, okay, self-indulgent. Oh, you're muted, Brenda. Come back to us.
Thank you. Yes,
no problem,
it's
girl.
Quiet on the Facebook side, so we're good. But guys, if you're on there, let us know. Let us know.
Yes, share. We're all in this together. All right, let's begin. I'm going to change your life now, people. All right. So there are 3 phases. Before I begin, let's go to phase 1. Phase 1, I call it the unknown phase. And what usually happens here, what you usually feel is fear, confusion, and doubt. And if you don't know what I'm about to teach you right now, you will make these things mean that you need to stop, that something is wrong with you, that you're never going to get it. And the truth is that the reason this is happening is because it's your survival's brain first reaction. So anything new that you want to start, your brain will initially, like the first reaction it's going to have is fear, confusion, and doubt. It's going to be like, what are we doing? What is this? What's going on? And the reason that happens is because the main purpose of our brain is to help us survive. I think we forget that. I think we forget that we're like survival, like we're in a survival place only because we're in modern society now. But the main function of our brain is to help us survive. So it focuses on 3 things: avoiding pain, seeking pleasure, and conserving energy and being efficient. So a new habit, something new that's going to take you out of your comfort zone, is going to trigger this part of your brain because it wants to increase the odds of you surviving. And I know this sounds ridiculous right now, right? Because 99% of the time, we are safe, right? If you're on this live, most of us have a safe life. So this sounds ridiculous, but our brain has not caught up to this. It reacts the same way. So I want you to know that this initial experience is normal. It's just your brain being a brain. And the way to overcome this is asking yourself high quality questions. A lot of times when we begin something new, one of the popular questions that we like to ask ourselves is, can I do this? Your brain, I want you to ask yourself that about a new habit you want to do. Your brain will automatically tell you, oh, well, maybe, but maybe not. Do you remember the last time you did it? Because your brain is going to focus on all the things that could go wrong. High quality questions are, how can I do this? What do I need to be able to do this? Who do I have to become to do this? Do you see how those questions are higher quality and will probably produce a higher quality answer? Because your brain is like a Google search bar. Whatever question you put in, it will put out. So if you put a crappy question in, it will give you a crappy answer. So that's why it's very important to pay attention to what you say to yourself and what you ask yourself, because it does affect everything. Another thing is to overcome is getting help and assistance to be able to do the thing, whatever thing you're trying to do. I'm also a person who had trouble with this because I thought that I should know how to do everything. I didn't want to get help. I should have been able to do everything. I know how to do everything else. Like, why can't I just do this weight loss thing? And you just have to make peace with, like, there are parts of your life that you just need to build your skill sets. And it's nothing personal. You just don't know what you don't know. So if there's a habit you want and there's skill sets that you're missing to get there, then go find the people that can help you. A lot of my clients, right, they'll come to me and they're like, they'll come to me with a meal plan that they just made up. And it wasn't even from a nutritionist. I'm like, who gave you this? Like, you're making stuff up. And it's okay that you don't know, but like, go to a specialist, get the information, become knowledgeable, and it's okay. Nothing's wrong with you because you're getting help. The other thing is normalize the experience and make it mean nothing about you. Normalize that you are going to be confused and you just don't know. It's not a personal thing, it's a human thing. And that's how I just live my life from now on. When I don't know something, I'm like, okay, it's just me being human. Well, not when I don't know something. When my brain wants to react this way, I'm like, oh, this is just my brain. I'm just being a human right now. Phase number 2, I call this walking in the mud. And in this phase, you might experience frustration. You might experience overwhelm. You might even experience defeat. And what's really going on here is you decided to do the thing, and now you're a hot mess. And that's okay. I want to let you know that being a hot mess is okay. Oh, okay, sorry. I got distracted by the chat real quick. And the reason why you're experiencing this is you may be rushing to the goal. You might be rushing to the goal because you think your life will be better on the other side. And I'm gonna tell you right now that even when you get to the other side, there's gonna be new problems. There's no need to rush yourself to the goal. You could be happy not being in your goal and working towards your goal. You want everything to be perfect. So when you're walking in the mud, you are gonna make mistakes. You're trying to figure things out. You're trying to adjust your life. And you are going to make mistakes. Be okay with making the mistakes. You're not a robot. You're human, and life does happen. The other thing is comparing yourself to others. I know a lot of people like doing that here. Your journey is not going to look like anybody else's journey. And I know this, you're tired of hearing this, but it's so true. You're gonna cause yourself so much additional pain when you start looking at other people's lives, because you have no idea what work they have to do to get to their goal, and what you have to do personally, what skill sets you have to learn personally from your personal life and your personal experience to get to the other side. It's never going to be the same. We all have different challenges. So comparing yourself to others is really, really pointless. And then the reason why walking in the mud is hard for some people and frustrating is because you start talking to yourself like crap as you're walking through the mud, as you're trying to figure things out. I tend to see that a lot of people do that because they don't want to be nice to themselves. They think that being a bully to themselves will help them get to the goal faster. And that's not how it works. You have to really have compassion, have grace for yourself as you are learning this new thing. It's funny, as adults, we do this, right? But when we're much younger and we're learning all the things, learning is lighter. But as adults, it's like it becomes this heavy thing that you have to know already. Like if you don't know it, then something's wrong with you. And it's okay to be a student for the rest of your life. How to overcome this phase? Giving yourself grace. Like there is no way you're gonna get from point A to point B in one day. Give yourself grace, be in the experience. Stop rushing or setting a deadline that you made up. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna lose 50 pounds in 3 months. I'm like, who told you that? Like, why are you making things up? Like, you don't know. Like, focus on your daily actions, focus on changing your behaviors and your habits. Focus on that, and your life will change. Stop focusing on this number that you just made up and you didn't achieve because you made that up. Or even like, even what they tell you that you're supposed to lose. Stop focusing on that. Focus on what you're doing to change. The other thing is, don't delegate your happiness or measure of success to this habit. A lot of people do that. They're like, well, I will be happy when I lose the 30 pounds. I'll be happy when I go to the gym every day. I'll be happy when I track my meals. It's like, no, you could be happy right now and still be in the trenches of trying to get to the other side. The other thing I have is live into the experience of transformation. The good, the bad, the ugly. Like really be in the journey of transformation and know that this is all part of it. I think we forget that. We forget about the magic of transforming. Like you look back and you're like, oh, this had to happen for me to get to the other side. That's the beauty of the story. You know what I mean? Don't forget that. Become curious and productively evaluate this phase. Meaning, we're going to become curious as to why we have the fails. What did work? What didn't work? And we're going to start adjusting things so that it aligns with the goal that we want. And productively evaluating is something I love to teach, because many times people will evaluate themselves like, oh, I just suck. Oh, I'm just stuck in my ways. Oh, I'm just lazy. And I'm like, what is that? That's not productively evaluating yourself. Productively evaluating yourself is like, oh, okay, I'm not going to the gym. Like, I'm not making it to the gym in the morning every day. What is it that's going on in my life that I can't make it to the gym on time? Do I need to change my sleep pattern? Do I maybe need to change the times that I go to the gym? Am I scared about something in the gym? Do I need to overcome that? Like, ask yourself productive questions and do a productive evaluation, and that will actually help you change. Phase 3 is the fun phase. It's the phase that we all want to skip to, but it doesn't happen. In this phase, you will experience confidence and autopilot. You just do things automatically, and you're confident about it. Usually circumstances don't stop you from doing the thing. So for example, one of the challenges I had was going to the gym in the beginning of my journey. Now it could snow, rain, I could have a broken foot, a broken arm, and somehow I'm in the gym because it's automatic. There's certain things that you're doing in your life now that's automatic. There's certain habits that you don't like right now that's automatic. And the reason why this is because you repeated it over and over and over and over again. So when you do things over and over and over again, that's when the habit becomes a habit. Like, that's when it registers in your brain. A lot of the problem with us developing a habit and changing our behaviors is we never let ourselves get through the phases because of our own self-doubt. So we never get to repeat it enough that it becomes something that becomes autopilot. And that's the only thing that's happening. And I want you to see that. So if there's a habit that you keep doing over and over and over again, I want you to know that somewhere around your journey, you're stopping yourself and you're not really doing it over and over again. You're just giving up. And it's probably because you don't understand what's going on in your brain and you're making it heavier than it needs to be. It becomes the new norm when you repeat something over and over again. Your brain sees that it's safe. Your brain just starts doing it over and over again because your brain likes to be efficient. So once you start doing things over and over again, it'll start picking up the habit and just doing it faster and faster and faster. That's the amazing thing about our brain, that can work for us or against us. And things don't feel as hard and dramatic. So, I put overcome. A lot of people will be like, why would you want to overcome autopilot, this phase? And it's really because some of us do have habits on autopilot that we do not like. So the way to overcome this is to constantly evaluate your automatic behaviors. Is it leading to the results you want? And knowing that you're never stuck in the habit. I get a lot of people telling me, I'm just stuck in my ways. I've been doing this for years and I can't change it. And I'm gonna tell you right now, that's a bunch of bull. You just have to understand your brain and understand what's going on. You are capable of changing any habit in your life. Know that. It's just understanding your brain and just being willing to go through the phases that will get you to the other side. I don't want you to ever stop yourself from believing that you can't change, Because a lot of that belief is what I believe is stopping people from actually getting to their goal. And I think that was it. I will take any questions. Talk to me. My screen went crazy. Why? Give me 1 second. Let me do this.
It's just refocusing, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was acting crazy.
It looks like, well, I want to say something too, just from my own personal experience. I know this last week we did a photo shoot with ProCare, and I had I had 3 or 4 different scripts that I had to talk about. And like, the people that were filming us were so amazing. They were very patient, because I have a hard time with that. And so the first time I would do it, it would just be like not very good. And then the next time I do it, it got a little better. And then finally I would get, relaxed enough where it would be like coming out and sounding good and sounding consistent. And it made me realize, just by simply repeating something over and over, how much easier it becomes. Like, you don't really realize that. So like what you're saying is, even like, I mean, we're talking about habits here. It could be simply just getting up and going to the gym. For me, I know in the past too, one other thing, like with traveling, sometimes I get like that with directions. Like, I have to go to the airport. I was telling Mabel, I've been taking a lot of trips here lately. And if I know exactly where I'm going, I feel really confident. It feels like it's just smooth sailing, smooth driving, and that type of thing. But if I have like a new place to park, I got to park, or just something just out of the ordinary, it makes me like, it gives me like a little bit of discomfort.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. And so it's this habit thing. Like, when you do something even more than once, I'm going to even say twice, 3 times is really, I think we're getting more into the automatic phase. Sometimes it takes 4 or 5 times. But I will say for myself, I've learned that it can really, that repetitive thing makes it more mindless, and you're not even really thinking about it. It's not that fear as you're going in, and that little bit of self-doubt, or just like, getting started. There is a couple of comments regarding this I'm going to read. One of them is Nadia. She actually sent it to us host, and she says, I get so caught up on hyper focusing, I forget to drink water or even eat. And yeah, like, how do we change that? How would you suggest changing that? Like, forgetting to drink water, forgetting to eat.
Okay, so this is where the productive evaluating comes in. I really want you to sit down and ask yourself, why are you forgetting to drink and eat? Right? Is there something in your life? Is there something your pre-op behaviors that are coming into your post-op life? Are you somebody who never really focused on what she ate and drank before? That's a lot of us, right? We were mindlessly eating all the time. So now we have to develop Now we have to develop the habit of being intentional with our eating and our schedule. For me and my hectic job, in the beginning, I had to put a timer on my phone. Like, every 30 minutes, every hour, I would start sipping on water. That was like in the very beginning when I couldn't drink a lot. I was just remind myself, drink some water, drink some water, drink some water. And somebody who looks like that will be like, what is wrong with this girl? But I needed to do that, right? To like create this habit of like drinking water, because before the surgery, before I decided to become intentional with my eating and my drinking, I wasn't paying attention to what water I was drinking. I barely drank water, if anything, right? So is evaluating why you're forgetting, and also what do you need to implement in your life to remember, right? Like, you don't have to stay there like stuck and like, why am I not remembering? What can I do to remember, right? Like, what do I need? Like, how can I make this easy for myself? Another high quality question. How can I make this easy for myself? How can I make this like smooth in my life so that I could just do it? How can I have fun with this? That's an exciting question, right? So it's just about implementing things. I hope that helped you.
I think that helps a lot, because I know for myself, at the beginning of this year, I did Actually, it was something similar. I did a podcast on habits and on
Mm,
habit creation because at the beginning of the year, a lot of times people are thinking about, New Year's resolutions and all these different things, like things that are like maybe things they want to change or things that they want just a little different and what
mhm,
they want their life to look like. And it's
mhm,
kind of just a time to kind of be more mindful. And for myself, there was a couple things that I was like looking at. And what I was finding is, like I would end the day and I would kind of do a reevaluation at the end of the
mhm.
day and think, okay, like what do I need to do differently tomorrow to make this work better? Because, some things were sticking and some things weren't.
Right.
And like when you start figuring out the reasons why they're not, that is the key. So I love that you mentioned that and that you are playing that because like we shouldn't beat ourselves up. Like it takes sometimes a little bit of practice to get these things to kind of stick and to kind of
Right.
be who we want them. And I think too, having a good reason, like a motivation, like if you don't have a good motivation, it's not
Like,
getting
why
you where.
are you doing it to begin with? You know?
Yes, like remembering that. It looks like Tamia says, okay, I'm 8 months post-op and my issue is still struggling with water intake. I've tried everything. Do you have any tips on how to get that water in? And also Enid says, preach ladies, I struggle with water and I have a an alarm. And she said, Terry says, Alexa reminds me a help with water and eating. And Nadia says, I have tried the water bottles with time on it to keep me on point and alarms, but it's such a struggle.
Yes. And I think it's also being okay with the struggle. Listen, you just had like surgery, right? Being able to drink a high volume of water is not in your journey right now. So making peace of like sipping every day, all day. And I remember in the beginning of my journey, it felt like a chore. Like, oh, here I go again. It was like I was sipping the whole freaking day. Like I had the bottle in my hand the whole day and I was sipping. I just had to make peace with like, that's how my life looks right now. And before I knew it, now I'm like, I'm chugging the whole thing of water and I'm okay. Like, this is just part of your journey. Like, this is, I guess you could call it the ugly, right? You're just sipping small waters. And also, like, you were so used to chugging stuff. I don't know about you, but I was always like chugging and drinking and being able to like just eat. And some of us miss that. Some of us miss that behavior of like being able to intake a lot because it did bring a lot of comfort for many of us. I know for me, I was an emotional eater. So you have to look at why is this a problem? Why is it that sipping a little bit of water is a problem for you? Is it because you're sipping a small amount of water, or is it because there's something deeper there? Like, really focus on that because you're just sipping small waters, like a small quantity. Like, that's really neutral. What are you thinking about that? That's causing you to feel frustration or like something's going on.
I can think of a million different things that kind of go through my mind. Like, is it the taste or no taste? Is it the text, like the temperature of the water? Is it what you're drinking from? Is it
Mhm.
the time of day? Like, if you're drinking, you need to have certain amounts in by certain times. And is that hard for you? Like, are you working? And are you able to have water at your work? With being a nurse, I know a lot of times we weren't able to have work like water at our like nurses station because of sanitary things, like
Mhm.
they frown up on that. So you had to go back to a break room. And who wants to take time to do that? Is it that you're tired of peeing? I mean, let's get real. Like
Yeah,
water, what comes in must go out.
right.
Um, and like, how does it make you feel? Like, do you feel kind of waterlogged or does it make you feel any different? So I feel like there's just a lot of reasons like that you could put into that scenario, like you were mentioning, asking a question to yourself, like, what are your barriers? What is it? Do I need to order a drink? A cup to drink out
Right.
of? Do I
Do you
need
have to make it a
timer?
more magical experience? Get yourself a beautiful cup and, like make this experience your own. Maybe you need to add some flavoring in the water. I know for me, I only could drink I call it essential water. I know that's not how it's called. It's essential water. I always pronounce that wrong. But that was the only water I could drink. And I made peace with it. I just bought that water. And I put Crystal Light in it. I put flavor in it. And it just helped me with the experience of drinking water. So just notice what's going on for you. Okay? You got this.
And yes, the flavorings and stuff too. Sometimes I feel like the flavoring, I like adding flavor because I'm very much a flavor person. Like I like to have something different. But sometimes I'll find like the little squirt bottles that you put in. What are they called? Mirror, Mio.
Oh, there's so many name brands, but
yes, skinny syrups and all of that.
Mhm.
Sometimes I feel like it tastes too unnatural. So I do like the idea. Jody says I add lemon and salt to a 48-ounce bottle, pour that into pretty glasses. I love that because sometimes the natural flavors too, like if you add fruit like 24 hours ahead, like you're thinking ahead and you have a water bottle for that, like strawberries or cucumbers or mint, or I'm just thinking lemon, lime. I mean, any kind of flavor that you like. Sometimes those natural flavors may even just be your thing. I mean, it just everybody's different.
yes.
The Crystal Light thing, I always usually do like Crystal Light, but some of them I can taste that I don't know, artificial flavoring or something.
Right. I see there's something else about work and water intake. Listen, for me too, I struggle with this because I will be like in a job for a long time and then I wouldn't drink until I finished that assignment. And then I had to drink water and sometimes I will forget. But what I did was I just started to drink more electrolytes, like things to enhance the water so that I will always be hydrated. Like they have like these hydration things, like figure out a way to like get the things in your life, like adjust your life to your crazy, chaotic work schedule. There's always a way if you think about it.
It's probably not real convenient for you as a police officer to say, hey, wait a minute, I gotta go
Yeah, like, hey, I know you need my help right now, but I need to sip some water, right? No. So I had to figure out like when I had those breaks, I had to be intentional with it. Like I always had my gallon of water in the car. I'll always be sipping. If I wasn't driving, I'll be sipping all the time. And yes, I always had a pee too. It was just part of my life. Like, but I knew that I was like, this was it. And I was okay with it.
Well, in the electrolytes, you kind of had a big mention there. I know I talked to somebody and I really hadn't thought about it like this. But I talked to someone who is very much into supplements and that type of thing this last week. And he was telling me how much attention he pays to the electrolytes thing. He does work out a little bit. It's not extreme, I think. But he was mentioning that he makes sure he's been taking electrolyte mixes because he said, if you think about it, if you're drinking large amounts of fluids, it's going to go straight through you. If you want some of it to stick, having some electrolytes in your liquids, I know somebody mentioned putting salt in them too, can be helpful. So you're right. Like maybe like if you can't drink as much as you maybe should be, maybe those extra electrolytes might be helpful. And I know Nadia, she sent a message. It's just to us as the host and panelists. She says, I'm pre-op and my biggest concern is eating. I go a whole day without eating, but then because I didn't eat, I'm binging hardcore late at night. Or I have my random emotional eating moments where I do anything to get cheesecake. I'm trying to find that balance of having 3 meals and 2 snacks. But I'm a full-time student, work part-time, and mom wife 24/7. So I never have a moment to just sit and eat. What would you recommend?
Okay, friend, I'm going to tell you this. You're not going to like the answer to this. You don't have the time for it because you don't make the time for it. I hope that makes sense. You have to, like, even in your crazy schedule, there has to be some moments that you have to add, like you could add the eating. I see somebody saying meal prep. Yes, there has to be. And the challenging part is that you have to become somebody who intentionally eats at a certain time. after you've been living a life where you just go, 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 it will seem like sitting down to eat might be wasting time from getting to all the things or the tasks that you need to get to. But getting into this journey, one thing that you have to know is that you're signing up for change. And the only way to get to the other side is by changing. So you cannot be the same person you were post-op. Like, you have to make these changes. And even though these changes are good, some of them feel like crap because of what we talked about, the phases. It's gonna feel like you're wasting time. It's gonna feel like you don't have time to do everything. But I wanna tell you that that's a lie. And if your life is that crazy, you may wanna look at your life a little bit. How can you organize things so that you become somebody who has time to eat? Like, so important. This is part of your self-care. Why don't you have time to eat, right?
It's so easy to put everybody and everything before it is. And I find myself doing that. And I am like, right now, I shouldn't have any excuses because my kids are grown and they're out of the house. And my husband, he can definitely do his own thing. But sometimes we think, okay, work is too busy. I'm like, I know I need to get this, and this done. Like, it's about prioritizing and like what's really important. And really, we need to feed ourselves first to have the fuel to help other people. Like, in order for our cup to be full, to be able to pour into others, we have to have that. So I agree. You know what? It is hard to tell ourselves that.
Right.
And yes. And I know Enid says I work from home, but seriously, it's nonstop. Yeah. And I know we have to just remind ourselves what the most important, what is good. And Odessa says, so is protein water a good source for both water and protein intake that is needed?
So is protein water a good source for both water? Yeah, I guess.
Water. Yeah.
Yeah, if that works for you, then do it.
I think anything, we forget what all it has water in it. Like, guys, remember, your food actually even has water in it. Like, most of your foods have water content, have some kind of liquid content. Remember that. So, if you're eating, you are getting some liquids there. Milk, I mean, you don't think about it, or whatever milk substitute you should use. That is actually like a really great hydration. But yes, I mean, whatever works, everything that's liquid is actually a fluid that you put into your body to rehydrate.
Right. Because my brain wants to tell you that I don't want you to think that protein water is it, right? There's all the options. Whatever works for you, just do it.
To me, it says meal prep helps. And she said, I need to talk to you with more because you're hitting home for me. And we have some more comments.
Yes, girl, I'm hitting your soul.
We're gonna be talking about Mabel because Mabel does work one-on-one with people, and I know she would absolutely love that. Mm-hmm. Enid says, however, in a good note, I do drink at least 56 ounces plus my ProCare protein with my coffee. Enid's always posting on Instagram her little protein drinks. I love it. Enid, you're awesome. Tamia says, yeah, I drink protein water with no problem and I get great taste, but I want to get better with just drinking water, period.
Okay, and that's a good goal. Just remember the phases and be kind to yourself as you're getting through the phases. And you know what, the drinking water, it just gets easier. Like, I don't even remember, now I don't even remember the struggle, but I just woke up one day and I was able to just drink water like normal. Like, this is not forever, people. I want you just to remember, this is just a phase in your journey. You'll be able to drink water normally again.
Nothing is permanent. Everything's temporary. Like, you can change anything, just like Mabel said. Megan says, it's Megan. Yeah, Megan says, Mabel, can you talk about fearing the unknown? Like, if you don't have all the info, how do you deal?
Okay, so the fearing of the unknown is, my brain is getting so excited. I'm like, where do I start? Okay, so it's pretty much being with the feeling of discomfort, being with negative emotions, and still knowing that you can still do the thing. And that comes with a lot of like people not being able to feel their feelings. People, as soon as they feel negative emotion, as soon as they feel discomfort, they want to stop. And what I'm offering you is that you can still feel that and still do the thing. Emotions, feelings are just vibrations in your body. I learned this a long time ago and it changed my life. Like there's no need to feel discomfort. There's no need to fear, any type of negative emotion, even positive emotions. Some of us fear positive emotion. There's no need to fear that because it's just vibrations in our body. And some of our tolerance level, for some feelings are really low. And we have to develop the skill set of just being in those emotions. So fearing the unknown might trigger a certain feeling for you that you're not used to feeling, and you don't want to go to the other side and just be with the emotion. It's a practice. Like I'm telling you this, just talking, but it is a practice that you have to do over and over again. Like being in the unknown over and over again, and your brain will be calm even when it feels unknown. Like right now, I'm experiencing some negative emotion, right? I'm like a little, not embarrassed, but like a little scared. Like my brain is doing some weird things right now, but I'm okay. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm doing this presentation. I'm safe. I'm okay. Like, that's how you have to like talk to yourself as you are experiencing being a human being.
You know, with fear, yes, with fear, I've heard, I don't know if anybody else has heard the acronym, false evidence appearing real. You know, it is, it's just our body's release of hormones and, you know, all of those like serotonin, dopamine, all those things, whether it's a good feeling or a bad feeling, it's a hormonal release of just kind of letting you know that you're alive. You're not your emotion. You're not your emotion.
Mm-hmm.
It's just an emotion. You're not that emotion, you know? So Mabel, let's kind of segue. Let's segue into, because there is quite a few people asking how they can get your information. I'd love to kind of segue into that. Can you talk about more about that?
Okay, so right now, the way I'm working, well, there's 3 ways that you could get to know me. You could go to my Instagram page, and there I'm posting my life and whatever, helping you with your mindset. You could do that. I also have a podcast that you can listen to. It's called Beyond the Sleep Podcast. You'll get some good gems there. You could be part of my VIP list. So every month, once a month, I do a community call, totally free, just like this. And I just coach everybody's brains and we get to the other side. So you could be in the community calls. And in order to do that, you have to be in my VIP list, which you could find on my Instagram page. Did I confuse anybody? I feel like I just jumbled everything.
No, you're great. In fact, I just posted, make sure I posted that correctly. I just posted it on our Zoom call in the chat, but I'm also going to post it here onto Facebook as well.
And the last thing is I do have one-on-one coaching. It's my Mindset Reset Mastery Program. And that is a 6-month program. And I coach clients one-on-one there. So that's the different ways that you can work with me. And to book a sales call, you can also find it on my Instagram. If you don't find a time that aligns with your life, just hit me up in the DMs and we'll figure something out together. Nadia, I see you're from the Bronx. Yes, girl. Stop playing.
She's actually been close to both of us because it sounds like that she said, I'm in the Midwest and I'm originally from the Bronx. Let us know where you're from exactly right now, because I live.
Oh, she moved over to your side.
Yes, I live in Missouri, and I am just south, like north of south of St. Louis. And she says Omaha. Oh, yes, girl, yes. Well, she just subscribed, she said, to your list. So that's awesome.
Yes, subscribe, people.
weekly email list. Yes. And I mean, I don't know that I'm on your list. I may have to.
You're not on my list? How dare you? No, I'm just playing. It's okay.
Trying now. I need to do this. But let's see if we have any other questions here. I think we're getting close. Oh, we have something in the Q&A box. Let me grab that. Megan says, can you talk about how to get over the fear of the unknown? So we already answered that, so I'm going to put done. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. And I'm actually going to just share a little bit about our sponsor too. Is that okay with you, Mabel?
Yeah, girl, this is your show. Do what you got to do.
Yes, I want to just share. So we've been doing these fun little things at the end of these programs to kind of share a little bit about ProCare. And I always tell Mabel, it's kind of been almost an overwhelming year. We have been coming out with so many new things, so many new products. It's been exciting, but just a little bit overwhelming. So I have one new thing that I want to share with you guys. I'm going to actually share my screen here. So everybody just stay tuned here while I get ready to do that.
I'm excited. What's going on?
I know what is going on. You can see my other notes here. I'm going to pull up a picture here.
Okay.
And actually, let me do the problem here. So for anybody out there trying to manage inflammation, sometimes I know inflammation could be one of those things. That could be joint pain, could be brain fog, it could be joint issues, any of those things, musculoskeletal, any of those things. And what can you do? So a new product that we just came out with is turmeric. And have you guys heard of this? I know whenever I worked in the hospital setting, I worked in the ER, and I know a lot of the orthopedic surgeons would recommend this for their not for the bariatric, for their patients, just overall. But it's a powerful antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, anti-neoplastic. That's a lot of antis. And can help with joint pain, other kinds of pain, helps aid in digestion. And I'm going to actually just pop over to the ProCare Health website. Yes, go there. Can you see this, Mabel? Can you see the ProCare Now website? Yes, she's pointing yes, thumbs up. So procarenow.com, just procarenow.com is the website. When you get there, right here under products, you're going to jump on down to where we have therapeutics. And when you get to therapeutics, it's actually on the second page. It's actually just one of our newest products. So it's at the very end, because as we add things, you can tell how things are new just by where they are, a lot of them. Although our push products we've had for a while. Right here, turmeric, and whenever I pull it up, here it is. A one-time purchase is $34.99. If you subscribe, you save 10%, which would be deliver every month, or you can actually change that to whatever frequency you want. You can change auto ship or stop that at any point. So just a great way to kind of not have to think about things. Down below, there's a little bit of extra about what all is included. Black pepper extract is also included in that, and it helps improve the absorption, helps also with inflammation, helps improve cognitive function, helps boost that metabolism, and improves digestion. So just a fun little thing. I'd love to know if you've tried turmeric before. Love to know. Also want to just tell you too, if you'd like to try ProCare products in general, and you're new to them, there is a little button here on our website. It says interested in a free sample. You can actually click on that. It's a blue bar right underneath the ProCare logo, and fill out a very short form, and you'll be sent a whole little plethora of all kinds of fun products that you can try for yourself. I also want to mention too, because we'd love for you guys to keep joining us on these events with wonderful speakers like Mabel. Under this Very Connected, you will find a bar called Very Connected, and basically in that is where we keep all of our upcoming events. So when you get to that page, you're going to scroll down just a little bit. Mabel's event is listed there. You can actually click on that at any point and go to the replay after this event is over. It takes about maybe 5 minutes, and then the on-demand replays available. We also will be having Jamie from She's also terms herself a sleep dietitian. She's going to be talking next week about navigating nutrition after weight loss surgery. And also Jill Kreutz, who's going to be talking about how to stop dieting and achieve your health goals. We also have monthly support groups. We usually do that on the third Thursday of each month. Our topic this month is keeping mental health a priority, simple ways to practice self-care each and every day. This goes really well along with Mabel's topic. That's why I thought I'm going to mention it. So all you have to do, yes, is click here, register. And guys, again, will be available on replay. Any of these events, including today's event, will be uploaded to both our YouTube channel and to your favorite podcast stations. So Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, all those other ones that people love listening to. And so you can click on any of these icons, or you can just go to your favorite podcast station, listen under Very Connected. Mabel should be uploaded by next Tuesday. And then if you're like me and you like also watching the video, you can pop onto our YouTube channel. So you just click on there or go to ProCare Health Vitamins and Supplements. And on that, you're going to see all of our uploaded videos for the last, I'd say, couple years. We have about 172 videos. Push the subscribe button. Mine doesn't show it because obviously it's our page. But if you push on that, you get notifications when Mabel's event goes live or any other events go live and is available for listening to. You can go to playlist. And our playlist will have on there, our live topics like today, fitness, 101 with me, recipes, bariatric frequently asked questions, and then we have a whole list of support groups as well. So at that, I'm going to stop sharing. And I think, is there anything in closing that you'd like to say and to help them with just kind of closing, like what you've talked about today, Mabel? Closing thoughts.
Yes. I just want you to remember, like I said before, any habit you want to create is possible. It's really about changing your mindset and understanding your mind. Like, don't ever think that nothing is possible for you because of your previous attempts. That's all.
Yeah, you know what? Sometimes we forget that we can change, and we get into that fear mode and we forget who we are. We are powerful. We are creator beings. We are like light. We have the ability to do anything that we set our intention to. And thank you so much, Mabel, for being present with us today and bringing all these amazing tools. Can't wait. Will we get to see you in any events this year? Because I actually met Mabel, I think it was at the bariatric retreat.
Yes, this year I will not be attending, but we'll see each other. I'm pretty sure, or here we'll figure something out.
We will. That is true. But I appreciate and thank you again. Look, just find her on our website or find her on Instagram.
Yeah, find me on Instagram. I love everybody. Thank you for the love.
Her coaching program. So
yeah, that too.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you, everybody. Everybody have a wonderful evening or day, wherever you're at in your own time zone. And thank you for joining us.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye, everybody.